In the early morning of June 30th, 1908, something unimaginable happened over the vast wilderness of Siberia. Without warning, the sky ignited. A blinding flash tore through the atmosphere, followed by an explosion so powerful it rivaled a nuclear weapon. No bomb, no missile, no human hand, just raw force unleashed above the earth, flattening an ancient forest in seconds. The blast occurred near the Tunguska River, in one of the most remote regions on the planet. The isolation spared humanity from immediate panic, but not from impact. The shockwave raced across the land, knocking people off their feet hundreds of miles away. Windows shattered across distant towns. The earth itself trembled. Eyewitnesses described a fireball streaking across the sky, brighter than the sun, trailing flames and thunder. Some believed the sun had fallen. Others thought the world was ending. Heat scorched skin. Trees ignited midair. And then silence. No second strike. No lingering firestorm. Just a forest erased in an instant. For days afterward, the night sky glowed across Europe and Asia. People reported being able to read newspapers at midnight without lamps. Atmospheric disturbances rippled across the globe. Something had struck high above the ground, interacting not just with land, but with the planet's upper atmosphere itself. Years passed before scientists could reach the site. When they did, what they found defied every expectation. Over 80 million trees lay flattened in a vast radial pattern spanning hundreds of square miles. It looked as if the forest had been pressed down by an invisible fist from the sky. At the very center, something even stranger appeared. Trees stood upright, stripped of branches, burned clean, like wooden poles embedded in the soil. There was no crater, no gouge, no scar in the ground where an object should have struck. Whatever caused the destruction had exploded in the air. This pattern did not match any known meteor impact. Asteroids leave craters. They scatter debris. Tunguska left nothing large enough to collect, nothing solid enough to study. The explosion had been perfectly timed, perfectly positioned, high enough to devastate, low enough to maximize destruction. Scientists proposed a stony asteroid detonating midair. Others suggested a comet made of ice. But each theory failed under scrutiny. A comet should have left water traces. An asteroid should have left metal. Neither appeared. The ground was almost clean, as if wiped intentionally. Radiation levels were slightly elevated, but not enough to explain the damage. Stranger still, the forest that grew back behaved differently. Trees showed accelerated growth, twisted rings, unusual mutations. It was as if the land itself had been altered, not burned, but changed at a deeper level. The effects were not local. Seismic stations across Europe recorded the shockwave. Atmospheric pressure fluctuated worldwide. Something had released energy on a planetary scale, briefly turning Earth into a resonating bell struck from above. As decades passed, more speculative theories emerged. An antimatter collision, a natural plasma explosion, even the possibility of advanced technology, far beyond anything humans possessed in 1908. These ideas were dismissed publicly, but privately, many scientists admitted the equations never fully closed. During the Soviet era, research into the region became restricted. Some expeditions were classified. Reports were incomplete. Military interests quietly replaced scientific curiosity. The mystery deepened not because answers were found, but because questions stopped being shared. Local accounts added to the unease. Hunters claimed animals avoided certain zones. Compasses behaved unpredictably. Visitors reported headaches, disorientation, an overwhelming sense of dread near the epicenter. Nothing dramatic, nothing provable, just enough to make people leave early. Today, the official explanation favors a meteoroid airburst. It is the safest answer, the least disturbing. It explains enough to move forward without reopening deeper uncertainty. History often works this way, closing cases not because they're solved, but because we agree to stop asking. The name makes it feel contained. The Tunguska event, a label, a boundary, but the forest remembers. Satellite images still reveal the scar. Trees still lean outward, frozen in the direction of the blast, as if time itself paused at the moment of impact. Unlike other disasters, There is no object to blame, no crater to point at, no wreckage to display in a museum. The cause vanished as completely as it arrived. The explosion erased its own origin. That absence is what unsettles scientists the most. Nature usually leaves evidence. Even chaos leaves debris. Tunguska left almost nothing, only consequences, as if whatever happened was never meant to be examined. The most chilling idea is not that something struck Earth, but that something arrived, detonated precisely, and disappeared. A release of energy without residue. A perfect event executed once, then never repeated. If Tunguska was a random cosmic accident, it was one of extraordinary precision. If it was something else, then the implications stretch far beyond 1908. It raises a question humanity still avoids confronting. Was Tunguska a one-time anomaly or a test run we were never meant to notice? The explosion happened above us, not on us, as if the message was not destruction, but demonstration. And more than a century later, the silence it left behind still echoes. Follow for more soft horror stories.